again with another video, and this is a request video on bulking and cutting. Now, personally, I don't bulk and cut, and I don't cover it in my book, but I'm going to answer this person, okay, with this video. So who does bulking and cutting? Well, I guess anybody can do it, but usually it's the bodybuilder, right? The Arnold Schwarzenegger guys, right? They're going on stage, they're in competitions, they want those huge muscles, they want them defined, right? They don't want them covered in a bunch of fat. So they do a lot of bulking, and then they do a bunch of cutting. It's all strategic. There are certain timelines involved, you know, in terms of when the competition is. But before I start talking about that, let's talk about this equation that I have written on the bottom of the board. Very, very important. Total daily energy expenditure, okay? The number of calories that you use in a day, you know, normally in a 24-hour period, made up of three things. One, your basic or your basal metabolic rate. You can't really do too much about this. This is what your body needs to keep its organs running and, you know, keep healthy and making and transporting hormones and, you know, keeping your heart beating and blah, blah, all that. So this you can't do much about. Then there is your diet and your exercise, both of which, if you do something about those two, you can eat more calories in a day, like I do. And what that means is, for instance, diet. You may think, well, how does that work? The thermal or heat effects of food. So the more inefficiently a food is broken down by your body, the more calories your body must expend to break that food down. And the best macronutrient for that is protein. Protein is the most inefficient macronutrient to be broken down. It requires as much as 4 to 5 calories, 4 to 5 times the calories to break it down as fats and carbs do. And that's why, you know, it keeps you full longer. But anyway, so eat more protein and you can eat more in the day. Exercise. Kind of an obvious one, right? Especially if you're lifting weights, it's going to promote muscle growth. And muscles are calorie-eating tissues. So the more muscle you have, the more you can eat, right? So kind of a simple equation, but that's the way your body works. Now, when it comes to bulking and cutting, what is it? First of all, bulking is when you eat more daily calories than your body burns for fuel. So a sustained calorie surplus, right? So you're eating above your normal energy expenditure number. And it is used to really build muscle size and gains, right? That's really what people are after for bulk, right? The Arnold Schwarzenegger, they want to bulk up their muscles. Cutting is when you eat fewer daily calories than you burn. So it's a calorie deficit and you're below your norm on this side, right? So what this is you want to bring down your body fat level, but you don't want to lose a lot of muscle, right? You've done all this bulking, you know, you've built up this muscle, so you want to maintain as much as possible, but you want to lose the fat that's layered over them. So that's what cutting is. Now, there are two ways of bulking. One is dirty and one is clean, okay? They both result in more muscle, but one will result in more fat and one will result in less fat. So the dirty, I mean, these are people who, you know, no food is off limits if you're dirty bulking, right? The idea is to pack on as much body weight as fast as you can. And so you want to gain muscle and you want to gain that strength really fast, but it's going to have side effects, right? You're going to maybe have high blood sugar level, whatever. So high muscle, high fat, and you don't care. You know that when you enter into cutting, if you've done dirty bulking, it's going to take you a bit longer to get rid of the fat. Now, some people don't want to take that long. They want to do clean bulking and not put on as much fat. They want to put on muscle, but not as much fat. So clean bulking, well, you have to eat properly. Not properly, I should say. You have to eat less flexibly, right? You've got to eat healthy foods. You cannot be eating processed foods and high calorie junk foods like these guys can in dirty bulking, because you want to promote a leaner body. So you have to eat low glycemic carbs, you have to eat healthy omega-3 fats, you have to eat lean protein, so it's a really strict, a much more strict eating strategy, combined with the high intensity weightlifting. So what I would say is, if I did a quick summary, dirty bulking is going to build a lot of muscle and a lot of fat. Clean is going to build a lot of muscle, not so much fat. And this deficit, it's when you're not eating what you need to eat, you are going to lose body weight, and it's going to include muscle and fat. But in cutting, you want it to be more fat than muscle, okay? Now, what I did, and this is, in terms of cutting, just to blow it up a little bit so that you understand, you need to determine your intakes in all 3 macronutrients, and you need to eat all 3, right? Now, protein, as I said, is very important when you're cutting. As you continue to exercise hard, that is going to increase the need for more protein. So I would say you eat at least 1 gram per pound or 2 grams per kilo. And 1 gram is 4 calories if you're figuring it out. So I would say you start off figuring out how much protein, and you do 35 to 40% of whatever you are, you're cutting. So you're below this, right? Whatever you pick to be below your normal calories that you eat in a day, 35 to 40% should be protein. Now, 35 is probably better. You could go as high as 40. Okay, I'm putting this in for the hardcore people. Now, fats. You cannot eat too few fats, because if you don't eat, for instance, any fats, you're going to compromise your muscle preserving hormones, right? Testosterone and IGF-1. So you don't want to do that. And remember, I said hormones are what you eat, right? In other videos. So 15 to 30% of the daily calories that you eat should come from the fat category. Now, it doesn't matter what you pick. If you want to pick lower, it just means you're going to eat more carbs. If you pick higher, you'll be lower on the carbs. It's up to you. And 1 gram of fats are very energy dense. They have 9 calories. So make sure you pick healthy fats, like omega-3 fats, for example. Now, carbs are determined by, you add up what this and whatever is left is going to be the carbs that you eat for the day. And that's going to help with your exercise performance, and also with preserving as much muscle tissue as you can, because you're going to lose a bit of it, right? So you want to work out really hard, but you do want to eat carbs. 1 gram is 4 calories for carbs. All right, so I hope this has helped, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.